Pokemon Let's Go has arrived. The launch day is here, and we have played a bunch. We've been drumming up excitement and enthusiasm for many months, many moons, and finally, we've got our hands on the two versions of the game, and it's time to talk about them.
Oh my God, Zach. We have been excited about this for quite some time. The nostalgia is real. The feelings are real. How you enjoying the experience so far?
I've had a blast so far. I made it through the first couple of towns. I got a whole bunch of Pokemon. We battled. We traded. I want to give a special shout out to the music because that was what really helped tap into the nostalgia for me. Hearing those familiar tunes was really awesome. And I got to say, as predicted, the art style and the just visual experience here is so good. It looks absolutely incredible on a TV or a monitor. 27 inches, does that count as TV? I don't know. I feel like it's a decent size here to play the game. But no, it's just so cool to see things in that expansive size, for the first time. And for me, from a nostalgia, visual, just hype type experience, it's definitely delivered.
Yeah, same here. I'm also playing on a 27-inch screen, just like it's bigger than the Switch, right?
It's much bigger than the Switch. Yeah,
I mean, we could
much bigger than a DS or a 3DS or a
we
Game
could be
Boy.
playing on like 60-inch TVs. Like we have them. It's just we got to record, and
Right.
This is where we happen to do it. But yeah, like you, the music hit me and the feels, everything, like the whole experience, and just seeing the art style come to life like this. I kind of hope that this is what the next one looks like. I know people are expecting like something like super different and maybe like more realistic, since it's to be a more core experience. But I like this art style a lot.
Yeah, if this is what they go with, I'm happy. I mean, it's already established, and getting to see all of the Pokemon in this style would be super cool. Just walking into, it's awesome because it is the OG set, but walking into a Clefairy for the first time and popping an Oddish out of the field and seeing a Bulbasaur and grabbing a Butterfree, it's so cool to see them, and I love that this game really helps capture the size and scale of these Pokemon. I still laugh when I ride Onix because he's so huge. You're so tall up there. I don't have any other rideable Pokemon right now. But man, it's funny because he gets stuck and he has to go back in his Pokeball because he's too big for certain spaces, and you can ride him even indoors. And there was this moment where I was riding Onix and just popped into a Pokemon Center, and he didn't go into his Pokeball. Like he did once I got in, but just going in, it was like, just me and my Onix smashing through the top of the Pokemon Center, entering to go heal up and head back out. It's got like just a lot of, I feel like, really positive and, I don't know, sentimental vibes. We can talk the gameplay details and how we feel about that, but just from a straight up like excitement, enthusiasm perspective, I'm really happy with this.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, and same with Onix. Onix is very weird. I just got him just a few minutes ago, actually, and riding around, it's like, whoa, like this is weird. Like it's so huge. They
do a really great job of also putting the partner Pokemon front and center. I love the integration with Pikachu. I like the first moment where the ball like spins super fast and rolls away, and you're like, what the heck is going on? How is he in here? And then he doesn't want to be in there anymore and pops out. And just all the little touches they add with your specific partner, I think, are really, really cute. It's just kind of like oozing cuteness and vibrancy, and like seeing... I'll try not to say specifics, but seeing certain characters and coming across certain moments and walking into certain areas. The Team Rocket encounter was awesome and just a lot of fun in this visual style, a lot of fun on Switch. But let's take things to a more gameplay level. Let's start with controls. How is it playing this game with one hand?
Very, very weird. I made a joke to you just a few minutes ago about maybe making a video about trying to get an excellent throw with the Pokeball with your feet, because you can probably do it. Like, yeah, it'll be like a little awkward to press like the ready button, but then just like flinging the Joy-Con, like it's not perfect all the time. There's times where I feel like I did not throw the ball that far away, but it just like goes way over the Pokemon. Or I still get excellent throws decently often, so like I'm getting the hang of it. But yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, I have not 100% been able to figure out where and how to aim for the motion throws. Like, it doesn't bother me from the standpoint of, you're just flicking it, but it bothers me in the sense, like, I can't quite get the aiming down because you're not really aiming, but you are aiming. And we mentioned, like, that was something that was covered in a lot of reviews, but I would say, like, that is my frustration right now, is the docked play motion Pokeball throws. I end up losing a couple Pokeballs every so often by what I feel is not my fault. And that's kind of frustrating. Now, some people may say that whole system is frustrating. The fact that you don't battle the wild Pokemon, you just catch them, and then the XP is shared amongst your party. It's not bothering me that much, though. I kind of like the new balance, and all in all, I think the traditional style of Pokemon is preferred, but I'm currently enjoying this balance of, like, not getting so stuck up in wild Pokemon battles, but more being able to get through those catching sequences quickly and then moving on to trailers, moving on to towns, and kind of progressing along the plot at what I feel is a faster pace.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there as well. I mean, I kind of miss the battles just a little bit, but I guess now it becomes tricky, like, hey, what Pokemon do you want to level up at what time? Because eventually, if you catch enough cool ones, you can't have more than 6 party members, and that becomes a little bit tricky. Grinding is different here because you need to buy Pokeballs, especially if some of these motion control issues, like, make you lose some, like you mentioned, every once in a while. So, being stocked up on Pokeballs is very, very important.
I kind of just like the different feel, like that it is slightly different in that way. Like the cadence, the loop is a bit different. It definitely does not encourage you, I would say, to switch Pokemon as often. Like, because everyone's gaining XP, you're kind of just, hey, if my partner Pokemon is my strong guy or girl to start, let's just roll with that. I kept Pikachu for most of my time. I was switching out just to see different attacks, different animations, and just experience different Pokemon. But you don't really have to, especially because of the fact that XP share is just on from the get-go, which is something we haven't really had before, and it's being, I feel, given quite generously. I don't know, algorithmically if there is a difference, but it feels like these guys are pushing levels pretty quickly.
Yeah, my Eevee was like level 10, like within 40 minutes or maybe less. It felt so quick.
Yeah, it does move quickly, and it moves easily. There's a thing to be said for Pokemon games always start easy. This one does feel just as or more easy cruising through the first couple gyms, the first couple areas. I don't think either of us had any trouble. I will say, though, you spent more time facing off and catching wild Pokemon than I did, and so you breezed through some of the last trainer battles that we participated in much more quickly than I did because my levels just were not, I guess, up to snuff.
I think I just am more of a grindy gamer than you.
Yeah.
That's just how I grew up playing RPGs and stuff. Grinding is just part of how I do things, and that manifested here by me catching a whole bunch of Rattatas for no reason, and I just keep catching these Pidgey, and they just go to the Pokebag, and they're just gonna sit there until I can figure out what to do. I don't know, but yeah,
I really like that convenience with the bag being right there, and being able to swap out Pokemon at free will. It's fun not only for your party in battles, but also then to change out who's following you, who you're riding. I really like that, and in general, seeing the Pokemon in the world as opposed to random encounters in the tall grass, I really like that. That's, to me, one of the coolest moments, and helps push this Pokemon further into that fantasy realm of this is what it would be like to live in a Pokemon world. We just saw the Detective Pikachu trailer where Rhyme City is the incredible incarnation of Pokemon meets people, and this isn't there, obviously, with some of the weird and creepy designs, but it is super fun to see okay, there's a patch of grass, and there's an Oddish and a Rattata and a Butterfree and a Pikachu all in that same spot, and you can either avoid them or run into them. Some of them kind of seem like they beeline straight for you.
Yeah, Rattata attacks you, straight up.
It's definitely, it's interesting to me that has never been the case, because to me it adds so much, and I don't know that I could ever go back to not seeing them out there in the field.
I wonder what the next one's in. I wonder if you're just always going to see them out in the field now, because I agree with you. I like seeing them, and if I can avoid them, how many Rattatas do I need? Probably not 26, but that's probably
not. Yeah. But it is a lot of fun, and I do feel it enhances the experience. I think this is a game that is trying to not only bridge new players into the franchise for next year's full-on Gen 8, but also appeal to the nostalgia. And I remember being in my tent playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Color and enjoying the heck out of it. It is a little different sitting in a chair, playing on a screen. And again, that one-handedness just still feels a little weird. I wish that I could use the Pro Controller. I really do. I wish that I could have a two-handed experience. It's very convenient how they've mapped the buttons. I don't think there's anything that you're missing. It's just a little odd to be playing a full-on big RPG on your couch or chair with one hand.
Yeah, I played handheld a little bit because I had to see what it was like. So
yeah, for sure.
I definitely did that. I needed to take a small break and grab handheld and just catch some Pokemon. You press a button, Zach. No flinging. It does have like gyro.
Might be very nice.
You can like move like the perspective of it like slightly, but you press a button and it throws a Pokeball. So I did enjoy that.
Quite convenient, and I also, because I have those memories of playing like in bed or in, like I said, like in a tent camping, like I want to play some handheld just to give me those feelings and then kind of compare and see like what I like more.
I will say the frame rate dips in handheld. I haven't seen any dips.
Does it?
Yeah, in docked it was perfectly fine. I definitely noticed some in handheld. I just want to make note of that.
Yeah, it runs really great, beautifully in the docked mode, and the online has functioned really great. We posted about the battles and the trades, but those went super smooth. I know it's not as fully featured as some would like, and I think maybe that's sort of like the MO for the game. It's like it's not as fully featured as some would like, but what is there does work, run, play, and give you a ton of fun. It runs great, it plays great, and it is a lot of fun, even if it's not everybody's favorite pick of how they put Pokemon on Switch first.
I think they still kind of nailed the Pokemon aesthetic, the feel of it. Still feels very much like Pokemon. I think anyone that was on the fence and complaining that it was a little too easy, I feel like everyone that enjoyed this, even if you're like super hardcore, I still think you could have a good time with this. And we haven't gotten there quite yet, but we have heard that the difficulty like picks up. So
yeah, and you've got like the Master Trainers at the end. You've got the Elite Four. Speaking of difficulty, we did run into a couple gyms and got to see their gym checks where they make you show a grass Pokemon. I kind of like, obviously it's very easy, but I kind of like that they make you show and pick the grass Pokemon. Like, hey, I know which one's the grass Pokemon, instead of just saying like, oh, you're good, and like you get to pick and show your level 15 Pokemon. It is a teaching tool that maybe is teaching something that doesn't need to be taught, but once you make that check, you can then switch out and swap out whatever you want. And two, it doesn't feel like it is as limiting or frustrating as people initially thought way back when we first heard the announcement of these gym requirements.
Yeah, guys, be on the lookout for my 100% Magikarp run where I only play as a Magikarp. Did you buy the Magikarp for 500?
I didn't even see it. To be honest, I went right past it. I was just trying to push as far as possible. I did just make a trade for an Alolan Rattata, which I really like. And we traded, so now I've got my Bulbasaur that I could not possibly find. I swear, I spent so much time in the first forest looking for a Bulbasaur. I found 3. All I could find were Butterfree, Metapod, Oddish. I found some Paris eventually. Mm-hmm. I did find my Clefable. That was my shining moment of the day. It was not a shining Clefable, but it was a Clefable, and that was pretty awesome.
I haven't found any shiny Pokemon. I'm kind of bummed about that. I mean, they're going to be rare, which makes sense. But, right. Yeah, at first, I thought that the small and larger like Pokemon would have these like blue and red auras around them. At first, I thought one of those was shiny, and I got excited. But, those are not shiny at all. I want one, Zach. All right, so you already mentioned some, but give me your 3 favorite captures so far.
Clefable was my first. That one was awesome. Even though I didn't use it and it was a sucky level, like catching a Butterfree and seeing it pop for the first time because it was the first big Pokemon I saw, not by the red and blue auras that we'll mention in a moment, but it was just big on screen. I was like, wow, Butterfree. So freaking cool. And then it's not a capture, but I love my partner Pikachu. I love giving him little pets. I love the animations. I love the Zippy Zap move that I acquired. You felt the brunt of that in our battle, but that new move is incredibly awesome and has a really sweet animation sequence.
Yeah, it seems like it has a 99.99 chance of critical hit.
It was very effective against your Eevee. I'm sorry for that, but no, it's a really cool move, and I'm excited to get more and more, especially ones that you can ride and just kind of continue to swap out the ones that follow you around. I saw a bunch of people excited for like Electro just because he'll like roll along with you, and we know that Snorlax has a super cool way that you walk with him. What about you? Interesting ones that you've caught so far?
I mean, I found a Clefairy, like, not as cool, but hey, it was a difficult catch. I know you still feel weird about it, but I like Onyx. So yes. So finding, he wasn't very hard to find. He's very, very big. Being able to capture him was kind of cool. And this one is lame, but hear me out for a second. Pidgey is the first Pokemon I ever caught. Like,
oh gosh,
yeah, like getting.
I think that's the first Pokemon most people catch. It's just kind of like almost gifted to you there
of course. So just like seeing that in this art style, and just like going back to that mentally, just like, oh my god, like I did this 20 years ago, and I'm doing it again now.
Yeah. It's been such a long time, and yet so much is familiar. The music, as I mentioned, really made me reminisce. The huge and tiny Pokemon thing with those auras, I kind of wish it wasn't there. Just because I'm like, I don't want a giant one of this. I don't want a tiny one. I just want like a normal size one. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but like
I have a giant Pikachu.
And what is that even like?
One of the NPCs said, "Hey, how'd you catch such a big Pikachu?" I'm like, dude, like,
I kind of wish they'd show up giant, like almost like in Smash Bros. When you can get really big. Like that would be super cool. They're not going to do that. But no, it is a ton of fun. It's easy. It is Pokemon Yellow, right? I think the interface is really cool. I like how they have merged some slight pixelated elements for the callback. In the party lineup, you can see the Pokemon pixelated, and when you're battling, you got the little level number that's pixelated. So they've thrown in some nice touches that do call back to the OG art style. But then this new like spacious art style, I really like. Like the battles feel to me more dynamic. I think the menu is very well made for simple scrolling and an easy way to get into everything. I kind of don't like with catching that you have to like go into the bag, go into the specific pocket, pick the berry, use the berry, pick the ball, use the ball, throw the ball. Like I feel like there's one step too many there, and maybe they could have, talking about making things more beginner friendly and simplified, they could have maybe simplified that process a bit more. But in general, like I really like the UI.
It's a little flashy for me. Like there's so much color. I mean, it's fine. It is catered for a more casual audience. Like I get it, but yeah, I mean, like you, I like the pixelated items and such as well. All that stuff is pixelated too, and I'm into it. I'm having such a good time with the game. I'm very happy. I do not regret waking up super early to download a different region version of it to play it. Right? Yeah, I don't regret it. It's fun.
Version wise, you have Eevee, I have Pikachu. I mean, it's basically, do you want Eevee or Pikachu, right? We haven't had anything that's really separated the two so far.
No, and I already found multiple Pikachu, so I'm good.
Yeah, I have no EVs yet, so maybe the way to go is the Pikachu, or is the Eevee, so you can grab the Pikachu. But I really like the partner Pikachu. I know that your Eevee is up on your head, looking great, but shouldering Pikachu, super cute. I love having the matching outfits. I feel like the outfits wear a little better on Pikachu than Eevee. Your Eevee scruff is just kind of obstructing the view.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
Getting all hairy with that Eevee. You can't evolve the partner Pokemon. That's something that has been asked a lot. The XP share is on, and it is there to stay. That is something that has been asked a lot. If you guys have any other questions or specific things you want to know, you can definitely let us know in the comments down below. I think one thing that people are going to want to know is, does this nostalgia and does this really good positive hype and vibe right now, does it wear off 10 hours in the game? Because we're like, we've seen this, we've played it, we wish that it was doing something new. Is a lot of the positivity right now about the, like I said, the warm and fuzzies, or is it the fact that, no, this is a freaking good game and they executed incredibly well on Switch? Be a little Nostradamus for me here. How do you see this going 20 hours into the title?
I mean, I'm already like 4 hours into the title, and I still feel pretty good. I think if it was like purely like nostalgia driven, that wears off super recently, and I don't want to like harp on other games too much, but the NES online games, like those are purely nostalgia driven, where I'll play for like 10 minutes and then it wears off. Like this, like 4 hours in, I feel pretty good about it. I don't know how it's gonna be 20 hours from now, especially because that difficulty is supposed to like ramp up a little bit, so maybe it'll be more enjoyable. But
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think by the 10-hour mark, I'll still feel just as elated with it as I do now.
For me, the visuals do so much. I mean, obviously, if this was just Pokemon Yellow on Switch, it'd be like, meh. But the fact that it does look, and I love the vibrancy. I love that it is a bit over the top with the colored palette and with the flash, as you stated. That is so cool to me, and just seeing the different areas, the towns and whatnot. And look, like, I'll be honest, I remember a good bit, but I don't remember everything. 20 years is a long time, multiple decades. I lived in a totally different state. I was 2 feet shorter. My hair was blonde, and I was playing on a Game Boy Color. So
hold on. You were only 2 feet shorter?
I think it's 4 feet tall. I don't know. Is that tall for 7, 8 years old?
I don't know.
I feel like 4 feet tall is right. I thought you were
Maybe
gonna
you were
say,
a tiny
hold on,
Pokemon.
blonde hair. Oh, God, does that make you a huge Pokemon?
Yeah, you walked around. You walked around. Which one's tiny? The blue one, right? You walked around with the blue aura.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I did like the color blue, but I actually red was my favorite color when I was younger. So I guess I was trying to either live the huge life or predict this influx of huge Pokemon. We'll still have to try out the Pokemon Go integration. We'll still have to try out some more of the different aspects like the co-op and whatnot that make this version unique. But right now, things are looking good. It is very nostalgia driven. It is very visual driven. But at the core, it's Pokemon. And remember, these are the Pokemon games that made this series shine and helped evolve this franchise into what it is. Let's call it the evolution animation, because I think that like galactic screen, it's so pretty. It's so nice. I just kind of want. I wish I kind of could have that be my Switch background.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I think we each had a few evolutions already very early on. That was quick. It caught me by surprise when it happened. I was like, "Whoa, that was so quick." I don't even feel that the Pokemon that evolved never was even in a battle. So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right. And I will say, if we want to wrap up with just a few negatives, it does feel a little bit odd to have that. That you're not doing wild battles. The first time I went to a wild battle, I was like, what's happening? This isn't, oh, okay. And then I was like, yeah, this is how it's going to be. And sometimes the motion control, like I said, I feel like I'm aiming correctly and it's not giving it to me. And the XP share does make things less varied from a standpoint of who you're going to put out to fight, because you don't need to. You, like you said, you can have evolutions and this great Pokemon that never sees the light of day and just sits in its ball and builds itself into this powerhouse. So that is to me something that I don't like a whole lot. Outside of that, though, like, it's a lot of fun, and I think both of us are having a heck of a time. And for me, this has delivered from what it is. Not wishing this to be Pokemon 2019, but from what we knew it was going to be, and the execution on that specific experience, I think they have hit so far a home run, and we'll have to see if that continues throughout the adventure. Let us know your take in the comments down below, and as I mentioned, any questions you have, we'd love to hear them. You can find more Pokemon on the channel throughout the day and the weekend. We got a lot coming your way, so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and these super cool new releases. We've got you covered. You can follow us on Twitter and Discord, ask us questions there, or just hang out with other Switch fans. We'd love to see you. For myself and Gabe, we got to get back to the Pokemon grind. I'm putting my current task as finding a fire Pokemon.
Yeah, I want Charmander very badly.
It would be nice, and I'm glad that these games turned out so nicely. In the meantime, though, for myself and Gabe, a fantastic day, everyone. We love you. SwitchForce out.